Firstly, I studied the co-official languages in Italy that are German in South Tyrol, French in the Val d'Aosta region, and Slovenian in Friuli-Venezia Giulia region. Secondly, I focused on Ladin, Sardinian, and Friulan languages, which are idioms all distinct from one another because of their phonetic and lexical features. Anyway, what I liked the most was studying the Franco-Provenzali, the Greek and the Albrecht dialects of southern Italy. Franco-Provenzali dialect derives from Latin and it shares similar traits with French and Provençal, even if it remains an unique and original idiom. This language is spoken in some areas of Val d'Aosta and near Turin, but it is also important to mention the Franco-Provenzali group of Celle San Vito and Faeto in province of Foggia, Apulie. Instead, when we think about Greek and Albrecht of southern Italy, we talk about linguistic settlements. It means areas which are developed as a result of relocations or settlements of ancient groups. Today, the Greek dialect is spoken in Salento, in province of Lecce, and in Calabria, in the valley of Amandolea. The so-called Iberia is the set of the Italo-Albanian speaking communities of southern Italy, where around 1,000 people declare that they are able to speak one of the Albrecht dialects, protected by the law number 482 of 1999. The Albrecht language differs from the other Indo-European idioms because it was influenced not only by Romance and Latin, but also by Slavic and Turkish. Today we can find some Italo-Albanian communities in Molise, Apulia, Basilicata, Sicily and Calabria. Actually, the Albrecht and Greek communities have been working in the recovery and revalorization of their cultural identity and idiom for years. For example, in Cosenza, there is a cultural Italo-Albanian association that has created a magazine called The Voice of Albanian. Scottish Gaelic is a Celtic idiom belonging to the Gaelic branch, closely connected to Irish and Manx. In the past, Gaelic lost its supremacy at court and in the lowlands because of a settlement of a group of English speakers, but at the end of the 18th century, the Gaelic idiom regained its value and spread again all over the Highlands, the Hebrides and Clyde Islands, mapping out the Gaelic-speaking area. Today, the main Gaelic language organization is the Highlands Association, and it has been working in the educational, publishing and cultural fields for years. Other measures were the introduction of Gaelic in the primary schools of the islands and the possibility to get a double degree in some universities within the Gaelic-speaking area. Considering some social, historical and political evidence, some linguists declare that Irish has developed over 4 stages. Today, modern Irish can be considered an Indo-European language, and for this reason it shares many features with its family, but at the same time it has some unique and original characteristics. As for the protection and promotion policy of Irish, we can say that it is taught mainly as a singular subject and is a fundamental requirement to enter the National University of Ireland. Even in Northern Ireland, Irish is spoken and taught regardless of the strenuous tug-of-war between the Irish, mostly Catholics, and the English nationalists, mostly Protestants, which has been going on since 1922. Welsh is a Celtic language deriving from the Brittany group of languages, as well as Cornish, basically extinct in the early 19th century, and Breton, actually spoken in Brittany. In accordance with the last census, this language is the littlest of the modern Celtic languages spoken today. Moreover, only in 1967, the Welsh Language Act accepted Welsh as a minority language, and the Welsh Language Board was established. The Basque language is not an Indo-European idiom. In fact, some linguists presume it is the only language that had survived after a series of Indo-European invasions. Nowadays, Basque or Euskera is spoken in the region of Pyrenees Atlantics, in the Basque community in Spain and in the community of Navarre. Since 1951, this idiom has been protected by the Deixen law and by some cultural associations. Even the campaign launched by Microsoft has to be mentioned. As a matter of fact, people can download several interfaces in Basque. It is a cheap and innovative initiative. The Occitan language, instead, is the most commonly used or taught language in France, spoken in more than 30 departments. This idiom is also known as Provençal Alpine because it is spread all over the Maritime Alps and the Cauchan Alps. The media play a fundamental role and encourage the use of it. Suffice it to think about Radio Occitanie and Radio Languedoc. Dom-Tom are involved in the legislative activity of promotion and protection of their idiom as well. Actually, the Deixen law has been including Tahitian since 1981, and thanks to the law of 1984, Dom obtained the same rights which were granted to the local and regional authorities. In conclusion, we can say that many conventions and laws have been adopted in Europe in order to protect and safeguard the existing minority languages that map out our socio-cultural panorama, such as the European Charter for Regional and Minority Languages. Today, this scenario has to be protected because it is not only a result of a long process of growth, coming out or affirmation of a community, but also a resource for future generations. The purpose of our society is to standardize and globalize everyone and everything, so only minority languages can make the difference and carry out those linguistic, cultural, social, religious traditions that risk being forgotten or ignored.